Don't feel like it's too much. You know, own it. Like, you are worth that much. You're putting in your time, you're putting in your energy, and what people don't understand is...
I've got a question for you. Do you get many of the clients you go through like BFT or in person that you're coaching?
Yeah.
You know what I think for like the fitness industry specific? I think like the biggest thing you can do is like literally not have a brand. Okay, I've hit record. We're back. Alan Ava's back. We're officially back on, and we can pick up our conversation where it left off in the car. Before we do, formalities that need to be out of the way. I just want to thank both of you for being here, and I appreciate you taking the time to come and have a chat. Courtney, I'm excited to talk to you about everything fitness and the business side of it. Tyler, bro, I couldn't imagine a better co-pilot for this shit.
Man, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to go and say something.
I want to just get in there and start chatting. I don't even know what I want to chat about. Honestly, like the vibes.
It's good to see you back, man.
The vibes are immaculate. We're sitting here on a couch. I'm in this cozy puffer right now. Sam actually got me this for my birthday.
Really?
Grateful.
Oh, cute.
Do you know when I said that you were coming on the podcast? She's like, what do you mean Courtney's coming on the podcast? She's like, how come no one told me? I was like, I don't know. Like,
I low-key thought she would come with. I was like, wait, where's Sam? Why is she not here?
Yeah, she's
like,
a working gal now.
She would have so much FOMO.
Fans of the podcast know she's a bit of a working gal now, sitting in Ponsonby as we speak with a coffee in hand.
Yeah,
you know,
living
the Ponsonby life.
Ponsonby life.
The Ponsonby life, man. It's honestly a good vibe. I'm actually going to head in there tomorrow just to work from a cafe.
Oh, that's so nice. What's that? I always go to the Daily Bread.
Yo,
Ponsonby.
Daily Bread slaps.
Such a vibe.
Or Dear Devoir on the corner. That cafe, absolutely immaculate.
That's good.
We were talking about a whole lot of things before we walked back into the room and turned on the microphones. It was all sort of like around like coaching and stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to I just want to like ask you questions today. Like, I just want to ask both of you questions. Tyler, I just want you to ask questions.
Yeah.
I just like coming back on the podcast is so exciting. And I'm genuinely like real excited to be back. Like, I just want to make it all about whoever comes on the podcast. I just want to like ask them stupid questions, have them answer, ask them more stupid questions, and just have a chat and just learn more about, like, so for example in this case, like you guys or you, Courtney, just like learn, you know, what do you do, why do you do it, how does it work, like how did you come across it, what are your tips and tricks, so that anyone listening can like obviously have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
Tyler's just raring to go.
He's just excited. I can see it. Oh my god.
Man.
I think like the place to start would just be like tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
And I might get Tyler to tell us a bit about himself too, and then rip into just questions as they come up. Also, I did put up on the story, I've got a couple of questions
Oh, sweet. Cool.
for you as well. Just a couple, but yeah, a couple nonetheless. So tell me about yourself.
All right, guys. Well, firstly, thanks for having me on. I'm so excited. Obviously, I've known Finn for a while now, so been itching to come on this and just have a bit of a yarn with everyone. I'm very excited that, you know, the first one on in a while, which is pretty cool.
In a long time, man.
First one back. How sick is that?
First one back. That's
you're
so
claiming
cool.
the title.
Yeah, I don't
First
mind
one back.
I mean, we've already had some good chats already in the car. But yeah, first of all, obviously my name is Courtney, and I've been in the fitness industry for about 5 years now. So I know when I say that, I'm like, oh my god.
Do you know that like the average time in the fitness industry is like 4 months?
I know.
No way.
I've seen it.
It's actual, yeah.
Like, I've seen it with my own eyes. The turnaround
It's 4 months.
unreal.
I remember when I first started working at F45, I was like, okay, it's August now. I'm going to be done by December.
No way.
Yeah,
Straight up, it's like a fact. It's like people, especially like PTs,
Yeah.
In the PT kind of industry.
I saw it with my own eyes, man. Just like month, like you said, 3 months. New PTs every 3 months, just like they'd roll through them.
And you've been around for 5 years. So anyways, you were saying been around for 5 years.
Stuck around. How crazy is that? So yeah, 5 years. That's crazy. That's wild. So that means my first job ever was in a gym.
Yeah.
Right. So I've only ever worked in the fitness industry. So like, yeah, no, it sounds quite funny. I still remember, like, obviously PT is so rough. Like, sometimes you have highs, sometimes you have lows. I remember I went through, like, a really low stage. And I was like, fuck this. I'm going to apply for, like, a retail job. I was like,
man.
and I was like going through what they were like looking for, and everything
Cancel
was
it.
like,
Everyone has it.
they all want like experience in like retail, experience in like this and this, and I was like, fuck, I've only ever worked in a gym. Like I don't have no experience anywhere else. Like I could not apply for any jobs. I was like, I've only ever worked. Even they came back to me and they're like, okay, but have you ever done anything else but work in a gym? And I was like, no. It's like never, not even like as a high school kid or anything like that. Wild. So I just went back to PTing because I was like, oh, this is what I'm good at, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been in the fitness industry for 5 years. I started kind of at like the Stanmore Bay Leisure Centre. That's why I started.
Shout out Stanmore Bay real quick.
I don't even know where Stanmore Bay is.
Is that coast?
Yeah,
is that on the
it's
coast?
yeah.
Isn't that
Coast.
where Sam used to?
That's where Sam, that's how
There you
Sam
go.
and I know each other.
I'm a local around
Now
there
it's- now
too.
it's
That's
making
how
sense.
Sam and I know each other. Yeah, so that's why I got qualified.
Yeah.
Worked in the gym there, got qualified. Then went straight to Les Mills, Taka, and then became a PT there. So that was quite cool. Definitely learned a lot. I was there for like four years, just over 4 years. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
It was cool. It was genuinely such a good time. I left Les Mills probably about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So that's quite obviously heartbreaking for me and my clients. You know, some clients I had for literally 4 years, and I saw them every day for 4 years. Like, it was wild.
I just want to chip in there. That is a hard thing to do when you've been working with clients for 4 years, some of them, and you've seen their progress the whole way through.
That's
and
like
you-
emotional.
Yeah, and you got to say, oh, hey, I'm moving on. That's so hard. So just congratulations on leaving. I'm sure it was hard, but also
Yeah.
like that's a big step to make.
It was,
so,
and you become a part of each other's lives. Like
Yeah.
like I know their families. Like we go out for dinners. Like
It's
know,
ridiculous.
birthdays. Like that kind of stuff. So
Do you still get to do all the dinners and birthdays, or
Yeah,
is
honestly,
it?
like, like we're still like, do you want to
Just
go
like,
for coffee?
yeah,
do you want to
yeah.
hang out? Like,
Let's skip
still,
this gym thing and just do what we're really here
Yeah.
for, you know?
Let's just hang out. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I do coach as well. So I've been coaching at BFT in Ponsonby for a few months now, which is actually, I didn't think that I would like it. Obviously, being a personal trainer and group training, complete opposite. Man.
Different vibes,
Different
hey.
different coaching styles, different coaching, everything. But man, I've genuinely loved it. It's been such a good switch up, such a good change.
After 4 years.
After 4 years,
Yeah.
I've learnt a lot, which is quite good because I feel like you think you know everything, but then you switch it up completely and you're in this new environment and you're like, wow, I actually don't know what I'm doing. It's just so opposite of what I'm used to. So that's pretty cool, and I do enjoy that. So yeah, with PTing and stuff, I did get nutrition qualified as well. So I was a qualified sports nutritionist. So that's pretty cool. That's what I kind of wanted to go in, the direction I wanted to go in anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely been some up and downs, like, you know, how does the fitness industry, like you're always trying to make money, trying to go online, trying to do all this stuff. And, you know, like New Zealand is probably not the best place to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But recently I've like completely gone online with all my training and nutrition, so no more PTs, and I'm just coaching kind of on the side at the moment with that.
What's like the decision that goes behind, like, coming out of Les Mills was like, you just need to change. You've been there for like literally like way too long, 4 years, ages.
Yeah.
And then now you've got like a happy balance, it seems, of, you know, like the BFT 20 hours and then like the online coaching as well.
Yeah.
How do you decide, like, this is, you know, I want to like do group training and I don't want to do PT, but I want to like do online coaching? Like, is money a factor in that? Like, is like your time, or like, is it literally that you just are over PTing, or is it like, because I know some people like will talk about like how you charge and stuff soon, but some people it's like they just don't charge enough to justify like spending, you know,
Yeah.
that hour with one person versus like you can scale your time and go on. Like, is that part of like what?
So I feel like being PT is always an up and down little roller coaster.
Yeah.
I felt like, I don't know how I lasted so long. Some weeks amazing, some weeks pretty average. So it's definitely, you're just constantly riding like a little wave of emotions. Like you're just up and down, up and down. And I feel like unfortunately now, like in the fitness industry, like if you go to like, even at like BFT, like all the trainers, like all of us have like 3 jobs. Like you get there, not all of them work at one BFT. Like they're like, oh, I work here and then I work at Studio Box and I teach classes here. Like they're all spread out, and I don't know if that is just because people are struggling to make money in the fitness industry, or you have to be like a PT and have to have something else on the side. But what I found is like I obviously did well to last 4 years as a PT, but not to the point where you could actually like save and make like a decent amount. And like, you know, like I found like a lot of the older PTs were kind of dropping off because they started having families and stuff, and they were like, okay, and you go find like a real job now, you know, like I'm gonna have a baby soon and that kind of stuff. I was quite lucky that so I've got an online mentor called Steve Paps.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's a really, really great dude, really, really smart. He used to do a lot of online training, used to be huge. A few years ago now he's kind of more into like marketing and like NLP and that kind of stuff, right? So he kind of approached me and a few people and was like, look, I want to help all these PTs get online. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to mentor you throughout. I'm going to show you how to get everything started, that kind of stuff. So that for me was kind of like, this is what I really want, right? Everyone wants to be an online coach. I want to be able to travel, have that flexibility and that kind of stuff. So I was like, great. And because I've known Steve for a few years now, like he would come in and do workshops with us, and he would always tell me like, Court, like the only way you can actually do this and go fully online is if you do it, like you got to throw yourself into it. Like you can't have your,
Can't do it
you
half-assed.
you
You gotta
can't
go
be
straight in
PT,
there. Yeah.
you can't do this and you can't do that. Like it just doesn't work that way. Like you need to throw yourself into it. And, you know, I kept on being like, like, you know, it's a risky move. It is such a risky move. So I decided, okay, we're leaving PT and we're going to go in this direction and we're going to give it everything we've got. So that's what I'm currently doing at the moment. The BFT, I mean, I enjoy that so much. I love, like, the in-person aspect of things, and I feel like on, like, the days that I am just at home on my computer, I do miss it, and I'm like, oh, I don't like being here all by myself. Like, I do have a passion for training people, so I do really want to sort of keep that as much as I can for as long as I can. But I've also noticed that since I've like stepped away from PT, obviously I wanted my nutrition to grow. My nutrition wasn't growing at all when I was a PT. Now that I've stepped away and I've put more energy into it, I'm like getting so many nutrition clients and like getting it.
Wow.
So it is definitely like just taking a step away from something and then putting all your energy into something else, and you'll actually see that it starts to like work and grow a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely, I think that money definitely plays a good role in it, because I mean, like you say, like how are you going to do it? A lot of my friends who have been like successfully online have had like pretty good savings going into it. So they did just stay at home every day, work online, and like had money with them. Like me, like obviously I still have to pay rent, I have to pay that kind of stuff. So like I'm going to go work 20 hours a week and then the rest try go online. But yeah, like I said, you've actually just got to fully throw yourself into it.
I've got a question for you. Do you get many of the clients you go through like BFT or in person you're coaching, like do many of them kind of come across and jump on the online thing? Because that for me, as a coach myself, that whole in-person thing, them getting to know you, 50% of the reason why people actually get coaching lessons with you or are coached by you is because of the person.
Yeah,
because your vibes.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're in person coaching at BFT and they're like, man, I really want to work with this girl. She's awesome. I just love the energy. I love the attitude. I love what she's talking about. You know, and then, she's got an online program. Now I'm going to go to that.
Yeah.
So I do feel like doing both, one leads into the other, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like I feel like with BFT, I'm pretty lucky. They've got like their 8-week challenges at the moment.
Yeah.
And the last challenge, I had a guy hop on my nutrition and he lost like 10 kgs in 8 weeks. And he was
not bad at all.
shredded as, like he looked great. And everyone kind of clicked on and they were like, oh, what has he been doing different? Because the thing is with like BFT and that kind of stuff, and I hate the word 8-week challenge. It grinds me up, man.
I dislike challenges.
They just run
It's a marketing
them, man.
stunt for sure.
Every 2 months is an 8-week
Short-term as
challenge.
well, man.
You know why I
Short-term.
don't like them is because it's like so short-term
It's
focused.
a
It
short-term
is.
focus.
It's not like a long-term habit thing. And then people like do it and then they go back and then they do it again. It's just like, bro, just how about we have like a long-term,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So yeah, that's everyone kind of saw him and was like, whoa, how did, like, I'm a nutritionist. I know how much weight you should be losing in a deficit. So you come up to me and tell me you've lost 2 kgs in 8 weeks. I'm not impressed.
100%.
I'm like, we've done really bad, you know? And they would come up to me and be like, look at my scan. I've lost a kg of muscle and this and this. And I'm like,
my God, ouch.
you know?
Yeah,
It grinds my gears. So I'm like, okay. So a few people have caught on and been like, can you do my nutrition? And I've got this one client now. He's amazing. He started with me probably 3 months ago at 117 kgs.
117 kgs.
117.
Okay.
And he was under eating massively, and I was like, oh, he came up to me, he was like, please help me. Like, I think I've been doing every challenge and I've not lost any weight.
That word again.
Right?
Challenge.
I've not lost any weight. He comes and he trains every day. He trains every day, and he's like, oh, I just don't know what it is. I was like, look, you're not eating enough, dude. Like, you're not eating enough. And he was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I was like, okay, just give me full trust.
Yeah.
I'm going to bump your calories up, dude. You're going to start eating like 3,000 calories a day, and we're going to just track it. And I mean, he did. He checked in this weekend at 106 kgs.
Is he in the right? Is it,
That's more than 10 kgs down in 3 months. You know,
Wow.
he came up to me when we first started, and we had goals, and he was like, okay, my goal is to lose 5 kgs by the end of the year. And I looked at him
Smash
and I
that.
just smiled, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we'll start with that, but I want you to think a little bit bigger. And he was like, okay. And like now, just seeing him walk into like the studio with so much confidence, like he walks in now and he's like, we're like, how was your day? And he goes, great, amazing, I'm awesome. Like, he's just so confident, and it's like the little things. He'll come up to me and be like, hey, cool, it's like, look at this shirt. And I'm like, nice. And he goes, I've never worn this size shirt before in my whole life. I bought it yesterday.
Do you know what? That I have a real close mate, and he's like been on a journey as well. He listens to every episode, so I know that as I say this, he'll be listening. I love you, man. He said to me once, like one of his biggest moments was when he like could go and buy this like clothing brand that he really likes, but he's never been able to fit it. And he went and bought like every single colorway of the jumpers and the
my
tees.
God.
And he like always wears it around, and not many people know that. But to him, it's like the biggest, you know.
It's
and
massive.
like,
Yeah.
so that's how do you leverage that as like, you know, from a business perspective, being like, you know, you're delivering really good results to someone. You're giving them like exactly what they want and more. You're making a massive change in their life. That's real good for them, real good for you. Then like, how do you leverage that from a business perspective to be like, you know, how do I get more of this, or how do I use that to show people that I can do that? Like, what do you do for that sort of stuff?
I feel like what's worked for me recently is obviously word of mouth has been great, because people talk, man. Like when people start seeing results and they see that it works, they won't shut up about it. They just talk. At the moment, same thing, just getting them to talk. Like, you've got to kind of put yourself, because I mean, every second person is a fitness person at the moment on Instagram, and it's like, do my program, do this, you'll get this. But when they actually start seeing other people's results, that's where they're like, okay, this is actually working. So I've noticed that, just like a heap of testimonials, getting people to actually talk about their journey with you, because I feel like that's what's going to make you stand out from everyone else, 100%. Because I can say whatever I want and you don't have to believe me. But if you actually see it on someone else and hear it from someone else, you're probably going to believe them more than you're going to believe me.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
For like the fitness industry specific, I think like if you're in a position where you don't have to rely on like you're not trying to like feed your family and stuff, like, so say for a lot of people, like myself included, like you as well, bro, like I think if you're doing it for a bit of a side thing, or for like, you know, it makes you feel good and that works as well, I think like the biggest thing you can do is like literally not have a brand, like literally not like be on Instagram or not be on like trying to market, or not trying to like go into gyms and stuff. The best thing you can do is get a client and then give them real good results.
Yeah.
That's
And
where
then
you
like,
start, eh?
bro, yeah.
That's
and
a
then,
start.
then like 10 weeks later, they like are literally a walking marketing.
Yeah, that's it.
Like they're literally a marketing gimmick for you, going around. They've got 5-10 friends. They've got 20 friends. They've got people. In my case, it's athletes who watch them play. And it's like, bro, like you're on another level lately. What's been happening?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, actually I've been like, Finn's been programming.
Yeah.
And then they come up to you and then it's like, oh, I heard you've been doing.
It's exactly
and then,
how it is.
And then it's like, oh, I have, bro. And it's like, oh, like, can you do me too? It's like, oh, yeah. If you're keen, bro, this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, keen. And then you do real good results with them.
Yeah.
And then it just, and you
it's
just
real,
play like
man.
a long
It's
game.
real,
Yeah.
It's
It
real
is.
proper marketing. Like that.
It
That is how you get the right clients as well. Because you can go use Instagram, you can go use all these different tools, flyers, posters, whatever, and you're just getting a whole lot of people who just you don't want as clients.
Yeah.
You know, they're just not in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
They don't truly believe in what you're doing. They're skeptical of what you're doing, but they're there to catch you out almost.
Yeah.
And exactly like you said, you know, if you now someone gave us the advice the other day where he said, do two things over the holidays to try to get more clients. The first thing was just go to your lessons and stuff. Talk to these people, say, you know, hey, if you guys want lessons, you know, let me know. I see a lot of potential in you. I know you could get to this point. If you want to get to that point, I'm here. Just give me a text and I'm ready to, you know, I reckon I can really help you out here. You know, I don't have to do this, but I want to give you the opportunity to do it because I see potential in you. Not everyone else, just you. And the other thing was the clients you already have, go and talk to them and say, hey, I've got 4 slots left for my next.
Do you
term,
know
whatever.
anyone?
4, yeah.
Yeah.
I love my lessons with you. You are my perfect client. Like I just enjoy my spending time with you. I see the progress you're making. I know you're enjoying it. I want more clients like you. Do you know anyone? If so, just go and talk to them. Let me know, and then come back and just goes from there. Because they're just like, wow, like you know, he just loves my lessons. Like, oh yeah, my friend might love this, and then they feel good because they're getting their friend into something that they might find passion in.
100%.
People.
Exactly
That's why.
You start
That's why,
from
like,
scratch.
I think it's just, you know, if you're not having to pay bills, like it's the best way is to just like do a real good job and then let that speak for you, and then literally like it weeds out like everyone else that doesn't agree with you or wouldn't want you to be the guy because they come to you, and then it's like or like especially like for example my case like I got like a full-time job, like I'm marketing, like I don't actually want, you know, like I don't want like 20-30 clients. I'm like
No.
yo, I want like 5 to 10 and I'm happy, you know, like
just work with them and just focus on them.
I just
Put
want to
all your
like
energy into
nail
them.
it for those guys, you know, like I don't actually want to scale it anymore, you know, and then there's like a whole heap of ways to do it, you know. I think another thing like as well that's real interesting that helps deliver that service is like the upskilling.
Yeah.
Like what do you do for like you've gone and started out and then you've gone and got like PT and then you've gone and got nutrition, like do you are you still doing stuff? Like I have like a list of courses, I like have a list of courses that I want to do, and I use the money because it's like a side thing for me. I use the money to go and buy more courses to
that's
upskill.
so good, eh?
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
literally I set up like a bank account and all my money that I get from like programming athletes goes into that like business bank account.
Yeah.
And I only use that money apart from accidentally last week on my birthday for
Accidentally.
yeah, well I took out some money to get a course, you know. I was like, I'm gonna start doing this, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with this course, a few $100, beauty.
Amazing.
And then I was like, oh well, I also do need a couple of t-shirts. So
Oh.
hey, we're not perfect, right? We're not perfect. But like I use that, and then as
Yeah.
well, you can write off that course as well
That's
because
so
it's
smart.
professional development.
Yeah.
Do you do anything like that or not?
So like you said, did the nutrition. So with our nutrition, like it's called the Sports Nutrition Association. So once you've done your qualification, they give you 2 years to like kind of, then you have to apply for your masters. So like we're insured and everything under them. We pay insurance monthly, that kind of stuff. But then in 2 years, so probably like the end of this year, I'll have to do my masters. You have to.
You gotta do it, yeah.
You have to apply for the next one and then do your masters and upgrade. So yeah, I find that's pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, it's just been like fully just smashing out this online stuff.
Do you like because I think like heaps of people in the fitness industry, they look at like it's real easy, like if you look at upskilling to be like you know, like relevant to yourself, so like PT or like nutrition. Do you look at other things like, you know, marketing, like how to better market yourself or how to better like give value so that you can charge more, or like is that a thing that you look at?
100%. So I feel like as a PT, like like obviously when you're associated to a gym or something like that, like Les Mills was saying, they do most of the marketing for you.
Yeah.
Like you don't do heaps of marketing, but they've got cards, they've got that kind of stuff for you. But when you're on your own, like obviously you definitely got to put yourself out there more like Facebook groups, like social media, that kind of stuff. I think my biggest thing going into this online stuff was like where to start. And that's where I went up to Steve and I was like, because I did like a bit of a marketing course thing with him last year on like how to get online and stuff. And he was like, great course, how did you find it? And I was like, it was good. But for someone who doesn't know anything, I just want someone to help me step by step how to set everything up.
Come to the agency, man. Come,
you know,
come
like,
to the agency, launch agency. Come on, be a client.
you know,
First episode in.
I'm getting that lead gen going straight off the bat, man.
You see?
Launch agency, you heard. Anyways, you were
and
saying.
that's exactly what he did. And he went away, and I was like, you know, like I want to do all of this stuff, and I want to go online. But where do I start?
Yeah.
How do I do it? Where do I start? How do I do it? How do I get it rolling? What apps do I use? What lead gen do I use? How do I, you know, it's a lot of things to think about if you don't have any idea how to use it. And he went away and literally created exactly what I needed. And he came back and he was like,
Do you like pay him for that, like as a mentor?
Yeah. So it's great. So he's on my ass every single day, which is great. It's what I need. I need that. You know, especially like throwing yourself into it, you need to be hitting those leads every day. You need to be doing that kind of stuff. Which is good, and he's very much on like, you know, a lot of visualizations, like affirmations, like waking up, being like quite spiritual and like energy and that kind of stuff, which is great. So I've learned quite a lot about that as well. Like what I'm kind of running at the moment is like a 5-day free challenge, which leads into my 12-week program. Yeah, it's called the Peach Project.
The Peach Project.
So
done our research.
We have done our research.
We've actually, Tyler and I have actually just completed the Peach Project.
It's been 3 days since I started my research.
I'm feeling good right now.
So yeah, that's where that kind of came on, and it was just like, you know, he helped me create it, and it was like, let's play to our strengths. Like, what are we gonna do? What do girls want in the gym? They walk in, like, they just want to build their booties. They want to, you know, train hard. They want to eat more. They want to know what to eat and like that kind of stuff. And we created it. And I mean, it's so cool. I reckon like my first launch could not have gone better, because one of my main rules are like, if you join it, like it's all free, whatever, you get your program, you get your nutrition program. We do workshops every day.
Yeah.
So like we do like a mindset workshop where we set up goals, like we talk about what's barriers you have in your life keeping you from reaching these goals. Like we go through a whole list of stuff, which is so cool. And then there's a workshop around nutrition, a workshop around training and that kind of stuff. But my one rule for them to join the challenge is just when you're done with your workshop every day, you hop on the group and you have to do a Facebook Live.
I like that. That's hard to do.
Yeah, and most people say no. And they don't want to do the challenge because they're so afraid of talking.
Just doing that.
And all I ask is like, at the end of it, I'll ask like, okay, run me through your goals, run me through your barriers, blah, blah, blah. What stopped you in the past? Or like, I'll ask random questions, right? And like, it creates such a community. Like, if I could just run you through my Facebook page, like one person would open up about, look, I've been struggling with this, this, and this, and this my whole life, blah, blah, blah. And then the next person will open up and start talking about what their barriers are and why they're struggling, and they'll start like commenting on each other's videos, and it just creates such an open, like
I see it happen every single week
literally
with Mega Run.
And it just opens up this like safe place for them every day. Like at a stage, it was like became some people's like daily vlogs. I was watching like 2-minute lives of like, so today I woke up and then I was just like, oh my God.
How many people are on there? Like 5, 10, 20?
Yeah. So I'm trying to get like 5 to 10 a week.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, like, it just rolls, man. People
That's
love
a pretty
it.
good, like nice, like sort of lead gen, you know? Like 5 days is enough to like do something and create like a relationship and stuff. And then I suppose like from there you just try to convert them into whatever
And I mean the 12-week is basically just the same. You got your nutrition, your training, obviously weekly check-ins, that kind of stuff. But then they also have 48 lectures as well. Okay. So we're going through lectures on like mindset. We're going through mindset exercises, you know, like journaling, that kind of stuff. Just like different things that people wouldn't usually get, because I'm like, obviously, so like you can eat as healthy as you want, you can train as much as you want, but if your mind isn't in a good place, man, you're just not going to be in a good place. So it's just like all those things that come together. And I mean, yeah, so that's kind of how that works. So it's like kind of just the mindset part of things on top of like the training and nutrition, which I feel like you get way more of. You know, I mean, I've been on prep, like I've had coaches, I've had so many different coaches and that kind of stuff, and I feel like that's the one thing that you lack out of all of that is just that support to keep you going, you know?
That's that like
So-
trend day
Yeah.
So many
accountability.
people just get hyped up to do something.
Yeah.
They start it, they get like 2 weeks in, a week in. Oh, this is too hard.
Yeah,
I'm going to
exactly.
stop now. Nah, I've got other priorities, they say.
I reckon that is the biggest part of like for this industry is like you give like the value add and the education, and then you also have like the accountability. Like
Yeah.
there's literally like businesses popping off right now overseas that are like literally just accountability services where
Yeah.
you pay like $50 a month and like you get a text every day being like, did you go for a run? Or like, did you eat?
That's ridiculous, though.
Bro, like it's an emerging trend. Like literally, that's what people want. Like they
Yeah,
want
they
I know they want
need
it,
it.
but they
How
should be
sad
doing
is
it
that, though?
themselves, right? Like, that's sad, man. I look at
Hey,
them, I'm
can you
like,
text me to be like, you know?
Yeah.
But I suppose
learn
because
how
some
to do it
people
yourself,
don't.
which is what your programs do,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Some people just don't have that community, and so because of that, they don't
Community,
have like
yeah.
a good friend, like, you know, that's gonna text them and be like, "Hey, are you coming to Mega Run this week?" You know?
Yeah.
Man, we bombard people with messages.
Bro,
And we're not
and
ashamed
Instagram
of
stories.
it. Seriously.
Honestly, you and Travis, man, you got honestly every day is Mega Run 6 days from now.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
But people
it works.
are like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
keen to come. Oh, I can't come this weekend, but I'll come next weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, you're coming this weekend, eh? Oh, actually, I'm sick now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we'll see you next weekend then.
Yeah.
Text him next weekend. Oh, I got a friend's 21st. I was like, come on, like, you got to keep doing it, but you
Yeah,
finally do it in,
yeah.
like, 6 months' time.
Nothing
You're
better
like,
than a feeling,
hey,
eh?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while. Like, have you started running? Like, what are you doing?
Mm.
You want to? They're like, oh, I've actually been in a really bad place, but actually, yeah, no, I'm so glad you messaged. I really appreciate that. And now they do come.
Yeah.
It might be 6 months later, it might be a year later. We got 1,200 something people in our Auckland Facebook Mega Run group, right? 50 people show up every week. How many people are not coming?
Yeah.
That just sit there and have never come before, and they won't come unless you message them.
Yeah, they
And
need that.
They just need that push sometimes, and once they get into it, you're right. Like,
I've
they have the
been
right
once.
mindset, they're off. They're
Yeah.
off and away.
I've been once to Mega Run. I've done my dash.
Finn just went into just like hibernation, man. I don't know what happened to
really?
him. He was just doing these runs, and all of a sudden, no,
Bro,
he
I
was
just-
busy, man.
But I just was running for that ultra, and then I was done with running for like 3 months.
you
I
did
was
that
like, I'm never
back-to-back
running.
ultra, that
Yeah,
50,
yeah. It was like 100k. It was
Oh,
like 50 one day and then
no.
50 the next.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My favorite thing is I didn't tell anyone. I just went and did it. Yeah, I just went and did it, bro. But I filmed the whole thing, like
Yeah.
training up to it, and I
The
just
video was
have also.
Oh,
epic.
so you did train
Yeah,
for it?
he was
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I still haven't really done much with the footage, but 1 year later, I'm still getting there, still
Oh
trying
my
to
God, that's cool.
still trying to get
This guy,
around.
like,
it.
he was running with us all the time.
Yeah.
Doing
Yeah.
these runs, and then he like went overseas.
Georgie's like, I'm trying to get to my like marathon or half marathon. I was like, that's mean. I could never do
he didn't say
that.
anything.
And I was like running half
Next
marathon
minute.
Saturday and Sunday every week.
And then he goes
It's
overseas,
so
and all of a sudden
funny.
he rips out this like back-to-back ultra
Yo.
race.
Oh my god, that's
It was
hilarious.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was super weird as well.
But, like, I feel
just
like-
had a 23k for my birthday as well.
I saw that when you posted that on your story. You're like, "Happy birthday to me." I was like, "Whoa!" I
Yeah,
could think of
it
so
was
many
definitely
better
so
things I
awesome.
would
It was
be
like the day
doing.
after like a running workout too.
I reckon by the end of this we'll get her into running as well.
100%.
No, do you know what I started recently? My sisters got
This
me.
podcast is all a facade to get, to get everyone to Mega Run. yeah. We're actually rebranding LNF. Nothing about business, strictly about running.
We're just
Sundays,
we're just
Mission Bay, Mega
we're just
Run, see
getting
there.
bodybuilding people on to get them to running.
Oh my god, honestly. Yeah, I've started on a Sunday morning. My sister and I go to Pilates now,
Oh,
and
vibes.
that's become like such a highlight of my week, and like so
actually love
different to
Pilates.
bodybuilding because I feel like,
It's so
man,
hard.
it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, and like I go in there and I know the PT that takes it, and she's like, "Oh, we've got Courtney here, like this bodybuilder, blah 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 blah." blah. And I go in there, and all these like older ladies are there, and they like grab the like 5 kg plates. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll grab 5 kg plate. Honestly, I
you're
regretted it 10
struggling.
minutes into that workout. I was like, I need the 2.5. Like, what is this? It's hard.
That's like
It's so
I
hard.
got some Q&As to wrap up
Yeah.
the chat with, because I actually have a meeting in 7 minutes and
Oh
a
my
half.
God.
But Chops and I, one of my mates, we went to this Pilates thing once, and it was like off day, recovery day.
Yeah.
We're a couple athletes, you know, we play touch,
Easy.
just humble athletes going in for a bit of off day recovery with one of the boys who was doing his like Pilates sort of cert. And like never ever have I been more humbled in my life, eh? We were like the
Yeah.
first pose, and we're like shaking
Yeah.
and just like looking at each other. And we're just like, he's just like, you boys don't have to do this pose, but if you want, you can try to do this. And we like gave each other a look. We're like, yeah, we'll
We're
do
gonna
it.
do it, yeah.
Shaking.
Push through.
Yeah, actuals.
Wow.
I got some Q&As to wrap up with for you.
All right.
The first one is like, how do you price everything?
How
That's
do
the
I
first one that
price
I remember,
everything?
and then I need the other ones.
I think that
What do
one
you
thing
base
going
off
into
and
it, yeah, you've got to just like, you're worth it. You got to remember that. And I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time we think that people can't afford it or won't afford it. People will afford it. People can afford it, and they will get the money if it means that much to them. And I definitely feel like especially people in the fitness industry, you need to just put your price out there. And like, even if it is too high, like, I mean, my price at the moment for my 12-week program is quite high. Like, it's a high ticket sales. You're getting a lot of things in it.
What do you
But
charge?
2.5.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's 12 weeks, man. You're getting daily check-ins. You're getting an app. You're getting so much things. I mean, that's basically what I pay for my prep, you
Yeah.
know, for a bodybuilding competition. So it's great. You've just literally got to put your price out there. Don't feel like it's too much. You know, own it. Like, you are worth that much. You're putting in your time. You're putting in your energy. And what people don't understand is it's so much energy and time that you
well,
put into people.
like that'll attract the right people,
Yeah,
and it'll
exactly.
deter the wrong people. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's no point
100%.
like just doing it half and being half happy, because it's like you're just, if you charge, you know, like $20 for a 12-week program, like no one's gonna do it because
Yeah.
they don't value it, and you're only gonna get people who are like, oh, can I get it for $10? But if you're charging
Yeah.
like 2.5, being like,
And they're not gonna
this
put
is
effort
value,
into it.
then
Yeah.
people will be like, you know what, this is value for like
Exactly.
three months of my life. I want to make this change, and this is my commitment to myself. I like
Exactly.
that. I think that's like a good way to
It's the
do
best way
it.
to look at it, 100%. And
Yeah.
like I was saying before, you know, 50% of why people go to you is because of you.
Exactly.
So you can't put a price on that, you know, you can't compare it to anyone else as well, because it's your program, it's what you're doing, and it's all about having you as the coach, as the person in charge of it all. So
Yeah.
100%, you just can't compare it. You just got to put it out there and just,
know your
just
worth.
do the
You
best
got
you
it.
can,
Yeah.
right? Just rip into it and just give your all, and people are either going to love it or they're just not, and that's okay.
Exactly.
I got a question from Sarah Kelsey, host of the One Up Project. I know she'll be listening to this as well. How can I fit more protein in my day? I find it so hard, lol.
I feel like I get this every day. I
Straight
think
steak, Sarah. That's how you fit it in. Steak and eggs
everyone
every hour.
struggles. Literally, it's a hard one. I don't have like a lot of protein supplements. Like, there's some really natural ones that you can get out there nowadays. It's so much easier. But I mean, I have protein 5 times a day. You know.
Oh my god.
Not protein
Out
powder,
there.
but like
Oh,
for every
right,
meal.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'll have
So
like
steak and eggs, we're like, oh, well, maybe she is doing that.
you know, like, it is hard, and I feel like people struggle with that. But I mean, if you do more research, so much other food has protein in it as well.
Yeah.
Like, take peanut butter, for instance, like beans,
6
that
grams
kind of
in
stuff.
peanut butter.
You know, like, you can actually, if you actually like looked into it, you don't have to just eat chicken and steak and stuff to have protein.
Yeah.
So much other stuff out there. But I do feel like people struggle a lot to get protein in. But don't do that, guys. You have to take your protein intake.
100%. I've
Every
upped
day.
mine recently. Yeah, 100%.
Every day.
And last question for you. Do you know what? We actually need to do a round 2 of this, because I haven't even touched on, like, I wanted to like bring you into the combo, Tyler. I
I
wanted.
was just
I'm here.
talking
I'm
way
sitting
too
here.
much.
No, I like dead ass wanted to bring you in from like the running, like, and the tennis
Try to,
coaching.
like, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also, I didn't even get to talk to you, Courtney, about your abs. So like, we
Yeah.
fully have to do a round 2.
So your abs or your app?
Nah, app.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you about your abs. No. Peach.
Oh, man.
But
That was
last-
a peach project.
Yeah,
We'll have to do a round 2.
We
'cause,
100% need
yeah.
a round 2. But my last question for you is, 30 seconds or less, what would be your ideal split, like gym split for a chick?
For a chick.
This is also from Sarah. Getting a name and shame. Getting a name and shame here. Love you, Sarah.
Honestly, if you guys knew what I've been training for the last 15 weeks, and it's going to be hard for me to get, like, because I know I need to train other muscle groups.
Yeah.
It's literally just been, like, legs 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then, like, back and shoulders and a bit of arms.
I love that.
That's it. Like, legs,
That
back
sounds
and
like a bonus
shoulders,
program
legs,
to
back
me.
and shoulders, bit of arms, legs.
I
Like,
love
that's
that.
been
I
it.
absolutely love that.
That's like a perfect bodybuilder split, though. It's just
Yeah.
that shape that you want. But I need to start incorporating a bit of chest now, I've realised.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, well, in the
Yeah.
meantime, before we get around to sus, because we actually have to do this, and before you move back as well to Aussie Tyler,
Yeah.
we've got to do this again. But in the meantime, where can they find you?
Awesome, guys. Like, just message me on Instagram. I think it's Court's Bridger Fit. I've changed it recently, but yeah.
All the
send me
links
a
are down in the
message.
bio. Yeah, I'm on Instagram somewhere, I think.
Yeah. I
find me.
recently changed my name. So yeah, just flick me a message on Instagram, guys, if you're looking for it. If you want to join on to my Peach project, send me a
Peach project,
message
let's
as
go.
well.
Yeah, I'm in there. Beauty.
I need a
Okay.
bit of that in my life, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Let's go get some. Okay. Let's show. Chirp. Beauty.
Easy, man. That was cracking.
Good, man.